I'm breaking out, I'm breaking in. I just can't help this state I'm in. I'm on my way, y'all. So put your shades on, this light's so bright, it's blinding. I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love. Breaking free, I'm breaking ground. I can't explain this thing I found. The clouds have moved on, I got my groove on. This pep in my steps infectious. I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love. I've been stuck in a rut, I've been shit out of luck. I've been wondering what is up with me, and then I realized it's up to me to decide. I can just be radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love.
You are an irresistible magnet with the power to attract unto yourself everything that you desire. That's right. That's why you're here. That's what's going on right now. You are bringing into your life the experiences you want. Got stuff in your life you don't want? Change your thinking. That's what we're all about. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the New Thought Spiritual Center Sunday celebration. Bring spirit, joy, and music and inspiration into your life right here, right now. That's what we're doing. That's why we're here. And I love that you've brought your consciousness here to our community to be a part of this. I'm Reverend Jay. I'm the senior minister here and all that good stuff. And I'm just so happy that you have joined us. What's New Thought Spiritual Center all about? I want you to watch this video and let you see who we are. This month, in April, our theme is declutter it. Declutter everything in your life. That's what we've been talking about all April. And our highlighted statement of principle is our purpose statement, which is right here. Reveal the divinity in you. That's what we're all about. That's the purpose of the New Thought Spiritual Center, is to reveal the divinity in you and me and everyone and the planet and the universe, revealing that divinity that is within us here and now and forever. It's your birthright. It's our birthright. Let's take a moment and breathe together in this spirit of joy, the spirit of the divine reality that is within us now. Breathe with me. Hold it in for just 1, 2, 3, and let it out. Let's take a moment. Close your eyes if it's comfortable for you. We're going to do a spiritual mind treatment, an affirmative prayer. We're going to bring forth right now the knowing that the divine is here and now everywhere. It is illuminating this entire universe and illuminating each and every one of us right now, because this spirit, this power, this presence is within us, is enlightening us. It's illuminating us here and now, each one of us, because we represent it. We individualize this power and this light right here on this planet, in this time, in this dimension, in this space. And in so doing, as we step into this service, step into this celebration of the living, celebration of the world, celebration of our minds and our hearts, we step into it with joy, into it with that communion between ourselves and the divine. Call it what you will, this power, this presence, this spirit brings forth into us the power to bring experiences into our lives that we desire. The health, the creativity, the love, the great relationships, the kindness and respect, the peace in our world, in our towns, in our countries, in our communities. The bodily vitality and vibrancy. We allow all this to come into us here and now, and we celebrate it during this next hour and allow it to spring forth from our bodies, from our lives, into the entire world, into the entire universe. So with gratitude and great appreciation, I release this powerful word, this knowing word, into the law that says yes. This together we say, and so it is. Yeah. So since we're in this mode of prayer, let's step into our sacred space right now. Now in your homes or outside, if you're outside, allow this video to step us in to our sacred space. At this time, we enter into our sacred space, opening our heart and mind to awaken the highest and deepest part of our divine selves. We plant the seeds of our greatest adventure, nurturing them with water of faith and the soil of spirit. Calling in wisdom from ancient times to quantum science, we now transcend time and space into the grace, love, and power of the universe. So go ahead and take another deep breath with me. If your eyes are closed, keep them closed. If not, you can put them at a soft focus, and in a moment, our spinning mandala will pop up and you can watch that in the background, and it'll get quieter as we go. There's some music to support you in the frequency that supports this opening, this sacredness. So again, let's take a deep, slow breath. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Let it out through your mouth. Repeat that with me. Hold it and release. As we allow our breathing to slow down, even though it's nice and deep, and our heart to become equal to that rhythm of our breath, in its calmness and its peacefulness. Let us put our feet on the ground or cross-leg them. We want to purposefully commune with the Mother Earth. Allow her energy to come through the middle of this planet up through our feet, past our ankles, and our calves, around our knees, up our thighs to our torso, and then reaching to the bottom of our spine, that energy center, that chakra. Allow that energy to flow back down into this plane. As we recirculate, reuse, recycle, relove this energy from Mother Gaia, allowing it to circulate through us, with us, for us. And so too, we allow the cosmic energy from the universe to come down and around and through us, from the top of our heads, past our third eye, down our face, our neck, allowing this energy, this power, like a white light, like the rays of the sun, flowing down and through us, allowing it to go down our arms, past our fingers, down past our neck, into our heart center, and allowing it to flow throughout our body. And we breathe. We breathe in spirit. We breathe in the life, the divine, revealing itself here and now. I open the book called the Radiant Sutras. And in it writes, rivers of power flowing everywhere, fields of magnetism relating everything. This is your origin. This is your lineage. The current of creation is right here, coursing through subtle channels, animating soft of an ant as tiny sensations open to its vastness. Power sings as it flows, electrifies the organs of sensing, becomes liquid light, nourishes your entire being. Celebrate the boundary where streams join the sea, where body meets infinity. Absorb these words, allow these words to be you. As we open up to the vastness, to the infinity, to the infinite possibilities of the divine that is revealed in us. As we breathe in through our nose, we know that God is. The divine is. Spirit is. And as we exhale, we know I am. I am that divine incarnate here and now. I am that divine bringing peace and harmony in my life. I am that divine in health and vitality. I am that divine in love and kindness. God is. I am. Power sings as it flows, electrifies the organs of sensing, becomes liquid light, nourishes your entire being. Celebrate the boundary where streams join the sea, where body meets infinity. Take a deep breath with me here and now, joining me as we exhale. Once again, we have brought this sacred space into our lives, into our minds, into our hearts. We allow the intuition from ancient wisdom, from the divine, revealing itself in each of us through our gut, through our heart, through our minds, and we allow it to do so. Let's wiggle our fingers, wiggle our toes, maybe move around, shimmy a little bit, move your mouth, and slowly, slowly open your eyes, coming back to this space, to this sacred beingness. Allow it to inform you right now. Oof. Thank you for joining me with that. I love that part of our celebration every Sunday, bringing forth, opening ourselves up to spirit in this guided meditation. Even as I'm speaking, I feel that I'm with you. And I think a lot of it is I'm feeling your energy as well. It comes through, it surrounds me. It's enlightening. Speaking of enlightening, this morning we have not only as our sacred reader, but as our musical guest, the Reverend Barbara Altman. And I'm so happy that she is here with us. And boom, there
here I am.
she is. It's magic. I love it.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. We'll talk a little later. I'm going to give Reverend Barbara a full hunk of time, and I'll be back later.
Thanks, Jay. I really enjoyed those flowers in your background, and spring is here. Things are looking up, and life is blooming again. Well, it always is, but we can see it everywhere. And Thursday was Earth Day, so it's a perfect time, spring, Earth Day, perfect time to talk about nature. And being out in nature is a really lovely and gentle way to connect with that beauty and with that divinity and that life that's all around us and also within us. And there's a movement that started in Japan called, I know I'm going to mispronounce this, but Shinrin Yoku, or forest bathing. And that's going to the forest or really any quiet place of natural beauty and just going to slow down, be mindful and present, and to connect through our senses with that healing power of nature. And studies conducted by scientist Dr. Qing Li have shown that spending even a small amount of time in nature can have an impact on our physical and mental health. And I know over the past few months, Gary and I have enjoyed going on hikes in Franklin Canyon. We've been to the lake shrine out in Malibu, gone to Descanso Gardens and the gardens at the Huntington Library. And we always feel so much lighter and happier when we leave, after our visits. And the gardens are especially beautiful right now that so much is in bloom. And in this teaching, we use the analogy of a garden a lot to explain the way that this works, this mental science, seed, soil, plant. Like the song in the Fantastics says, plant a radish, get a radish, never any doubt. So what you plant is what you will reap. You never plant a watermelon and get a rose. So we begin in our conscious mind with the seed, with the idea of what we desire to experience. And we plant that seed in the law of cause and effect, which is the metaphysical soil in which that idea will grow. And the manifestation is the result or the blossoming of that idea seed. But as anyone who's done any gardening knows, you can't just plant the seed and walk away. There are other things that we need to do when we plant a seed. We need to water it. And when we plant an idea, we water it with affirmations, with prayer, with our imagination. You know, what will this look like, feel like? And another thing that we need to do in gardening is we need to keep our garden free of weeds. There can be things that pop up in our garden which we did not consciously plant. Weeds can be blown by the wind, seeds can be dropped by a bird, but sometimes there are things that pop up in our lives that we did not intentionally plant. Were not planted by us. And that's what Ernest Holmes calls race consciousness, which is the collective thought of our families, our friends, our education, our culture, the collective thought of everyone around us and everyone that came before us. But as intentional gardeners, it's our job to tend our own inner gardens. We may not have planted these weeds, but it's our job to find them and to pull them out so they don't crowd out what we do want. And today's spiritual reading is a line from a song that I love by Sarah Bareilles. And she says, "I'm aiming to be somebody this somebody trusts with her delicate soul. I don't claim to know much, except soon as you start to make room for the parts that aren't you, it gets harder to bloom in a garden of love. Only thing I ever could need, only one good thing worth trying to be, and that's love." So this month we've been talking about decluttering, and it's time to declutter our spiritual gardens, to pull those weeds, to get rid of anything that does not belong to you, so that there's room for all that is you, room for all that you want to see grow and flourish in your life, room for love and delight. Let all that is unlike you fall away so that you can fully be your authentic, natural self. Let your garden bloom. Connect with your beautiful, authentic, natural, divine self and trust the healing power of nature, the healing power of your nature. Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired. And when I knew I'd have to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life seemed so unkind. Your love is the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. When my soul was in the lost and found, you came along to claim it. I didn't know just what was wrong with me till your love helped me name it. Now I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for. If I make you happy, I don't need to do more. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, what you done to me. Oh, you make me feel so good inside. And I just wanna be close to you. You make me feel so alive. You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. Natural woman. So now, if you would like to join me in today's affirmative incantation, it goes like this. I have a big intelligence system, my mind. I have a big feeling system, my heart. I have a big wisdom system, my gut. This divine matrix is abundant with all the tools, ideas, feelings, imagination, and power that I require to live my life fabulously. I have decluttered my world and exclusively energize thoughts of prosperity, vitality, and love. I am relishing this miracle called me. That's beautiful. And now if you'd like to join me in knowing this in a deeper way, just close your eyes if that feels comfortable, whatever it takes to get into that deep knowingness, that deep openness to these divine ideas, knowing that God is at all times, everywhere that we are, within us and all around us. And as we go through this week and open our eyes to all of that beauty that is all around us and again within us, our lives cannot help but be beautiful, cannot help but reflect that beauty that we see. And I know right here now, in this moment and every moment going forward with each and every new breath, that our cells, that each and every aspect of our beingness is healthy and vibrant and whole. I know that our relationships reflect that beauty and that connection. I know that we are doing our perfect work at all times and that we are perfectly compensated. We have all that we need right here and right now in this moment and moving forward. I know that our creativity, that abundant expression flows easily and effortlessly and blooms beautifully. And I am so grateful to know all of these things and to release this and let it go to that divine law that is always working, that is always saying yes to those beautiful seeds that we plant. And we get to reap that harvest in each and every moment, claiming that good that is ours. And in gratitude, I say thank you, life. Thank you, spirit. Thank you, that divine law. Thank you for all of it. And I release this, I allow it to be, and together we say, and so it is.
Yeah. We need to make sure everyone got to see the beautiful flowers.
Yes.
Sort of stand in front of it a little bit, but thank you so much, Barbara. Great song. Great words. There they are. Peach bought those and then arranged those for me as a sort of a birthday gift in spring and all that wonderful stuff. Great words, great music from Reverend Barbara. So fortunate to have her with us every month. Well, she's actually with us all the time, but actually in the celebration every month. Today, I want to invoke a holy uprising. We stand poised with the ability to use this teaching and all the other tools that we bring in, that I bring in every week beyond this teaching, although they're all a part of this teaching, even if not directly so. But we stand poised with the ability to use all of that to take ourselves and all of humanity actually into a new paradigm of consciousness. A new decluttered paradigm, bringing forth into our lives all that we deserve, which is all that we have the consciousness of. It's a paradigm of prosperity, of happiness, of health, of loving relationships. It's a model of miracles, aha moments, and infinite possibilities. It's a pattern of connection and communion and joy. It's a habit of right thinking and truth. It's a mirror of opulence and opportunities, and reflection of which happens in our lives and our experiences. We're invited every single day to demonstrate all of this and more in our lives, in this center, in our communities, in the world. And to do so, we must rise up. We must rise up in this holy life. Like we rise up for social justice. Just like we rise up for social justice, we must rise up to a consciousness of equality and unity, oneness revealing the divinity within. Like we rise up to save our family and friends through dangerous conditions or conditions that don't fit us the best, we must rise up to the consciousness of protection, security, and peace in our world, in our lives. Like we rise up to move away from an addiction or depression, we must rise up to a consciousness of joy, a communion, a connection with the divine that is within. Like we rise up to move away from any negative thinking in our lives, we must rise up to this consciousness that we are being supported by the divine love and the law of cause and effect at all times, every day, every second. See, the great thing is we do not need to place limits on spirit, because spirit has no limits. Once we have the consciousness of what it is we have decided we require in our lives, and we align ourselves to that great power that created all, to the divine that is revealed in us at all times, we then avail ourselves to the infinite possibilities. We then give ourselves the permission, which is already actually granted by the universe, by our birthright, to put our hands in the biggest cookie jar there is and pull out all the goodies we can grab. And that includes peace and prosperity and peace of mind and inspiration in our lives, not just stuff, not just things, not even just vitality in our bodies, but everything. We increase the size of our bucket that's inside our minds by knowing that God's bucket is the one we get to fill ours from. With limitless prosperity available and ready to be served, our mental equivalent is the mirror to our external circumstances, okay? That's what we teach. That's what we know. That's what we know maybe intellectually, but is that what we embody? Is that what we are mindful and conscious of? Our inner life, our consciousness is truth-based, but the experience we imagine, the experiences we have been mindful of and focusing on, they are earthbound. They are coming. They are coming as we become conscious of it. I'm working on that stuff all the time. I am working all month to declutter. You know, I came up with this theme months ago, but it's so interesting how as we stepped into this month of declutter it, I have been decluttering, and some of it is not always fun to declutter, but it was necessary. It's necessary. We're decluttering our minds, we're freeing our hearts, and we're connecting with divine wisdom from our guts, from our intuition. And now is the time to allow it to flow, to get into the flow of joy. And joy is in our communion with spirit, and our communion with the power and the presence of the Big Bang, if you'd like to call it that, of our communion with this power, with this energy, connecting with the frequency of it. That's all it is. It's just energy that we are picking up on, that we are connecting ourselves to, that we are turning on. Imagine, speaking of spring and gardens, imagine a garden hose that is attached to a water spigot, a faucet. The spigot is source. The water's turned on and it's flowing. You know, it's automatically coming out of the faucet, out of the spigot, into the garden hose. Now, how much comes out at the other end of that garden hose depends on whether or not the hose is obstructed, right? You think of your hose in the back of your house or the back of your apartment building. If the hose is constricted, then the water doesn't come out, or it comes out just a little bit. Because the water is flowing fully through the spigot, through the faucet, and yet at the other end of the hose, the water may be dribbling out. But our spiritual work is what removes the obstructions in our garden hose, because it's coming in. That water, that energy, that divineness, that intuition, that power, that those ideas, that vitality, that abundance, that opulence, it's just coming in. It's there, coming in. But whether it comes out into our lives is how we are obstructing it, how I obstruct it. God is the water. The divine is that water. The source and substance of everything is that water that's coming out of that spigot, coming out of the universe. The degree in which we experience that flow, the givingness of spirit in our lives, is determined by the degree which we able that water to flow through unobstructed. And, you know, don't freak out about that idea. Don't freak out about the responsibility of it, because it's a gift, actually. And when you see that it's not showing up like you imagine it, like you intend it to be, then there's work to do, that's all. There's some mental and heartfelt work to do, some spiritual practice to do. Because that's our work. That's our word is our work in unkinking the hose so that spirit can flow through fully. We don't need to do anything about the flow of the water. The spigot's on full. That's all set up. That's all there. Our job is just to allow that water to flow through us. So let's not be deterred or confused about the appearances of what we see, what's in our life right this second that we may not like so much, that we don't want in our lives so much. Let's just face the fear. Let's just face the disappointment. Let's just face the bag of cookies that we pull out of the cupboard when we feel this way, or the next cigarette or the drink. Face it. Name the condition, then know the truth of it. It's old news. It's an old story. It's yesterday's thoughts, opinion, perspective, perception. The energy. The fact is that the energy you invest in knowing, using, and being the truth, and that's through what you focus on, your spiritual practice, other tools that we've talked about that you use. The spiritual practice you invest in speaking and knowing and doing and embodying and thus illuminating the truth, and the focusing of your mind and heart to the frequency of that truth. The more we do that every day, several times a day, if you like, meditation, spiritual mind treatment, the affirmative incantations, other mindfulness tools, the more yesterday's thoughts and beliefs become neutered, null, and void. It just works that way. It just works that way. Even, it's not necessarily going to every time be an aha moment. It could be just a little bit, a little more energy, a little more vitality, a little more, maybe life's not so bad. And then that grows, and that grows, and that grows. And not only does it grow in your life, it affects all of life. There's a gentleman named David R. Hawkins, and he wrote a book called Power versus Force. And he wrote, in this interconnected universe, every improvement we make in our private world improves the world at large for everyone. Simple kindness to oneself and all that lives is the most powerful transformational force of all. Now, Hawkins was a nationally renowned psychiatrist, physician, researcher, and spiritual teacher. He calibrated human consciousness from its lowest vibration, which he calls shame, to the highest, which, of course, is enlightenment. And that higher consciousness radiates a beneficial and healing effect, not only on the person exuding that consciousness, exuding that energy, that frequency, but the whole world. And he used kinesthetic testing. Some of you may know that as muscle resistance testing, where they say a word or a phrase, and your ability to resist pressure on certain parts of your arm, etc., of the muscles being pressed upon, is the power in which that word or phrase is energizing in your body, in your heart, in your mind, etc. But as he put this chart together to explain all that in detail, what the mystics have always known, he found out that love is more powerful than hatred, that truth does set us free. And again, it can be in even the tiniest increments. You build upon that every day. And then you will have your aha moments. You will have your miracles will show up. Increase your integrity, understanding, and capacity for compassion. You will change the world, not only yourself. Here's a quote from Michael Beckwith from his book, Spiritual Liberation. He wrote, in God awareness, problems dissolve because there are no real problems in the mind of God. There's no real problems there. There are only perfect patterns of existence and divine ideas. That's what we're showing up. That's what's showing up in our lives. The perfect expressions of divine ideas. So we want a different look of that perfect expression of divine ideas, then we have to do the work. I have to do the work. We all have to do the work. We've been cleaning up all month. We've been using tools to declutter our minds and our hearts and our guts all month, all year, in fact. So now what? That's the question today. Now what? Ask yourself this. Are there any areas in my life where I am playing small or working patterns of lack, limitation, et cetera, et cetera? And what limiting beliefs can I let go to expand my consciousness and fill that bigger bucket that's right there waiting for us? Doesn't matter what we believe at this particular moment, what our bucket looks like and how much it can be filled, because over here is the biggest bucket, which is the divine bucket. And we can just as easily turn and use that to fill. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Our belief sets the limit to our demonstration of a principle which of itself is without limit. It is ready to fill everything because it is infinite. It is entirely a question of our own receptivity." Receptivity. When appearances suggest an absence of the divine, start decluttering. Start using those tools. Face these appearances with the courage and power that is innate in you. Oh, sometimes, and I've been there, sometimes I don't believe I have that courage or that power, but I do. I just have to remind myself I do. We all have to remind ourselves sometimes. And then when these appearances show up that seem to be absent of the divine, we can neutralize them with conviction and purpose and spiritual practice, therapy, counseling, coaching. We can take action that we learned or forgot about maybe and relearn to lessen or remove these appearances' grip on our beliefs and thus on our lives. Now, I'm not asking you to ignore or gloss over any genuine issues in your life or the world at large or what's going on in your community. I'm not asking you to hide behind platitudes until the storms pass, because I know that in times of social unrest, in times of personal tragedy of any level, when we apply the principles of this teaching and all the other philosophical and psychological tools that we talk about here, we find what is ours to do. It is there. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes we didn't even know. But being mindful, being focused on what it is we want versus what is there at that moment. Not what we don't want, what we do want. Then we do invoke that holy, holy uprising. So that's what I'm doing today. We cleaned up, now what? I'm invoking a holy, holy uprising. I am using the principles of oneness, love, joy, and truth, and allow any uncomfortable topics, situations, and stories to help me deepen my spiritual practices, grow my compassion, and take divinely inspired action to transcend, transform, and inspire my best life. Join me. Do that for yourself. Deepen your spiritual practice. Grow your compassion, not only for what's going on outside, but what's going on inside. And then you can take divinely inspired action and transcend whatever it is in your life that you don't want there anymore. So cleaned up, now what? Well, now that we've cleaned up, now that we've decluttered, now let us live an absolutely fabulous, opulent, and love-filled life. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Let us place our hands on our hearts and together declare our love offering blessing. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you for your blessed love offerings.
We so appreciate every single one of you that joins us here on Sundays, and many people join us throughout the week on the replays that are constantly there on Facebook, etc. In fact, speaking of Facebook, here's some interesting news about our social media. Watch. We're also on TikTok now. Every Sunday after our Sunday celebration, I do a TikTok for the Affirmative Incantation for the week. So if you're on TikTok, please join us there as well. And I'll be also including more on TikTok, little quotes, etc., from some fabulous books that I enjoy reading and that you may as well. Also, what else? Any other announcements? I don't have any other announcements, but you'll see below me is the credits of where we, how and where we created all our videos, and those who have helped us today, especially Steve Apperson, who's there in the background directing and pushing buttons and making sure everything comes up on time, and of course the most fabulous Reverend Barbara Altman, who brought us our sacred reading today, our affirmation, see how I slip there sometimes, our affirmative incantation, and that great song from Carole King. And in fact, are you still there, Barbara? Is she there?
I'm here.
There you are. You know, I've been starting this thing every once in a while, especially when we have a guest for Sacred Reader, where we end the celebration with a kind of a round robin. I don't know if you can call two people a round robin, but would you please join me in a spiritual mind treatment to close out our service? There is a song. I want to say this before we get into our treatment, our affirmative prayer. There is a song that we will officially close out the service with, the celebration, and that song is called Shine, and it's by a group called Collective Soul. Do you remember Collective Soul?
Oh yeah. Great song.
Was that the 80s, 90s?
90s, I think.
90s. I must have been ignoring pop music then, because I accidentally found this song and was like, wow, this is a great song. And so I'm bringing it to you all. But thank you all for joining us and for bringing your consciousness to our community. And we appreciate all your tithings and love offerings and being a part of our social media and, of course, a part of our community. So let us now take a deep breath together. Yes. So what we know here and now is the divine is this energy, is this frequency that is out there all around us, all in the universe, in every dimension, in every space and time. It is beyond space and time. It is that source and substance of everything ever created. It is that Big Bang. And this power, this presence, this divine reality individualizes itself in each and every one of us. We are here, divine beings, having a divine life as we decide it is. What is our divine life? Well, we've decided here and now. This month, we've decided our divine life is decluttered from that which doesn't serve us any longer. Those yesterdays are gone because now we focus on today. And today we are focusing with mindful intention and purpose on vitality and vibrancy and opulence and creativity and love and kindness and respect. We focus on that which is true. That the power and presence of all, the creation of all, expresses through us in a way we choose, in the way our volition says. We speak the word of opulence, we speak the word of health, we speak the word and nourish our garden of life, focused on love, opulence, health, love, opulence, health, love, opulence, health. That is what is here right now. And we pass this on to Reverend Barbara to enlighten us more.
Love, opulence, health. We plant more and more seeds of love, opulence, and health in our garden, and they bloom and grow and blossom gloriously. And I know that as we become intentional in what we plant and what we focus on, I know that these good things will continue to grow greater and stronger and brighter and more vibrant each and every day. Spring is here now and is always here within us. That potential for growth, for experience, for good, for beauty, for truth, for wisdom, for creativity, for all of it. That is at all times within us, just waiting to burst out in full color.
Yeah.
And in gratitude for this, I turn this back to Jay.
So we are in great gratitude for this knowing, because we start with the knowing and then we transform and transcend into the being. And that's what we're doing right now. We are being, we are bringing into our belief the focus on love, opulence, and vitality. That's what life is, and that is what we are focusing on and deciding upon. We made that choice. We've spoken our word in gratitude and appreciation. And so I release this powerful word. I release this powerful treatment, this affirmative prayer, and let the law bring it forth into our lives. As together we all say, and so it is.
So it is.
Hallelujah. Ashe. One more time. Let's look at these beautiful, beautiful flowers. Have a most fabulous week, my friends. We'll see you next Sunday in a new month. It'll be May next Sunday. Thank you all. We've been blessed by your presence and your consciousness. Have a beautiful week. Namaste.
Namaste.